Welcome to another episode of the Purp Show. This is season 6, episode 7. Yeah, I figured I drop another one since the next one won't be for at least until like around Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Purptober's right around the corner. I'm super excited for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Get Rashad up in here. Yo, what up?
You,
What up, bro?
hey man, same shit, different toilet, man. You already know.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I figure I get this one in because the next episode I do is gonna be into like Halloween
Mhm.
around that time. We'll see. Um, like I said, I got a lot of exciting things for Purptober. You know what I'm saying? The last few episodes left for the Hard Never Dies podcast will be going on there. We got a new episode coming out this Saturday, you know what I'm saying? Same time, 10 p.m. and stuff, and just really exciting things I can't wait to show people. Um, and just can't wait for just next month in general, just for all the different movies and seeing what's coming out, horror related or not horror related. It's exciting. But how you doing, bro?
Hey, everything is everything, man. You're probably gonna be disappointed with me for what I'm about to tell you. Me and my son watched Demon Slayer today, the movie, and we watched Demon Slayer until Demon Slayer was watching us.
Yeah, it is. It is a long movie. Actually, I told you that it's a 2.5 hour movie, but it's pretty
Hey,
much like a long ass like part of like a season kind of. But I
yeah,
really enjoyed this shit.
what's up? Well, I posted about it on Facebook. I said, yeah, I think this movie's a little overhyped. Okay, a lot of talking, a lot of exposition. It was getting on my nerves. And then somebody commented, it was like, yeah, it's like a long filler episode with no substance. I said,
I
that's what
wouldn't
it felt like
say
I was watching.
I if you got the context of like what was going on, because you're just kind of just jumping into the final arc of things. So it's like to say like it's filler is kind of crazy because it's like these and each matchup was very personal to each like character and stuff that you see. Because
Right.
like I said, this is like a trilogy. So a lot of people might not think like, oh shit, like there's two other movies and there's other plot lines and stuff like that they had to get to, but gotta obviously wait. But
Well,
like
the thing that frustrated me
mm,
the most about it, Perp, the thing that frustrated me the most, right? I think this is just the thing with anime is that it will be a very cool fight scene, right? There's a cool fight scene going on, and then they will cut it and then go to like a backstory. So you got this kick ass like
mhm.
you're going at it, then all of a sudden it's like
I could see some people's issues with that because like that's a not every anime does it. Some people do a better job of like flowing the backstory within the fight scene
right,
as well.
right.
And I could see some people having issues with that. Like, but like I said, like if you had the context, you would probably appreciate those backstories more and at those moments and whatnot.
Well, because
But like I
it
said,
was
I think that's a thing that they can improve on because, like I said, that's going to continue into
right.
these next movies because, like, we still don't know a lot about like certain characters and stuff like that, and they're saving all those big moments, and I'm pretty sure it's like that's going to be another complaint maybe for another time. But like something like One Piece, they're great at telling backstories because everybody gets a backstory just because it makes it feel like you care about those characters more, you understand them, and it kind of just it's just that little attention to detail. But I can understand like your first time going into it, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? With the backstories.
Yeah, because the fight was actually the fights were cool, but then like I said, it would cut from a cool
Mhm,
ass fight to it'll go from to yes. So when I was a little girl, I was very small and everybody else was
mhm.
bigger, and I just wanted to get. And I'm like, wait, whoa, how the fuck we go for you fighting this higher level demon? I think it's called. You know what I'm
The
saying?
upper
Getting your
moons,
ass
yeah,
handed. Yeah, and then it cuts to you talking about how you wish you was bigger. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
yeah, because that's a thing that they kind of talk about as being like a hashira and stuff like that. Your size does kind of matter, and
Okay.
and that was a kind of a thing because like he does kind of overwhelm her and like just not even just speed but just in height and stuff too. So if he was like a little bit taller, she could have, you know what I'm saying. But
Could have hung with him. Yeah, I mean, not
mhm,
not the worst thing, not the worst thing I've ever seen, but
yeah,
it didn't blow
I,
me
I
away
would
on the
say I
level
would say
that
wait,
Negan did.
I would say like give this series a chance because I think once you watch the series, you'll be like, oh shit, like I didn't know
Yeah,
this was connected to this, because that's what kind of makes that movie hit, especially the last two fights and stuff
right.
like that. The last two fights, it just makes it more impactful. But yeah, that's just yeah, I understand like that's a thing that people have issues with is like the inner monologues and stuff like that, which I don't have an issue with that because there's certain animes like JJK. If they didn't have that shit, you wouldn't know what the fuck
Right.
reverse curse technique is and stuff like that. Like sometimes some of that just does help like
Yeah,
get a better understanding when they're trying to explain it and stuff like that. Um
true.
but it's just kind of just a thing you kind of get used to and whatnot.
Right
Um
on, right on. But I got over it. I watched it, so that
yeah.
happened, and yeah, and now we can move on.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see what they do with the next one and stuff. I know it's gonna be even crazier with the Upper Moon one and stuff. I can't wait to see what they do with him and whatnot. And they still gotta get rid of Upper Moon too, and then worry about Muzan and stuff, aka Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? But
Michael Jackson. That's funny.
yeah, because when you see him, like he got the same getup and everything. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to get into the themes of tonight and whatnot, just want to kind of ask everybody that's watching, or if you just checking this out, what are you watching currently, or what are you looking forward to watching this weekend? Are you going to be seeing the new PTA movie, One Battle After Another? Um, are you going to be checking out any of the different series that are dropping, like Wayworth? That's what I'm looking forward to. It's like a new limited series. Also, Alice in Borderland season 3 is dropping this weekend as well, so I got to get on that. I completely forgot to review season 2, but it's okay. I'm not gonna go back or anything like that. I just gotta go back and rewatch some episodes because I fuck with that. And they also announced that Battle Royale is going to be coming back into theaters next month for like
Mm.
three or four nights or something like that. I forget exactly what the dates were off the top of my head. Also, I was looking on Bloody Disgusting and stuff and whatnot. They have a Pumpkinhead movie, but it's not the Pumpkinhead you're thinking. It's R.L. Stein. I was like, that's not the Pumpkinhead that I was thinking that it was going to be, but it's going to be on Tubi and whatnot. I was just seeing that.
Mm.
Um, but I was like, yeah, that's not the Pumpkinhead I wanted, but you know, it's
So it's
R.L.
gonna be like
Stein,
like
so I
like,
might.
like an actual pumpkin head.
It looks weird. I didn't even like click on. I don't know if there's a trailer. They just had like a little screenshot of it. It was like that's definitely not what I expected to. When I was thinking about Pumpkinhead in my head, I was just like, that's not Pumpkinhead. But
Uh,
it's gonna be on Tubi. I'll be checking it out though because it's R.L. Stein. We'll see. I don't know if it's gonna be like PG-13. I would assume it's like PG-13 or something like that around that rating or some shit like that. What else? Marvel Zombies is coming out this week for anybody who cares about that. I know a lot of people. We're gonna also be talking about some Disney shit tonight. We're gonna be talking about the Mando and Grogu
okay.
trailer and our thoughts on that, and just the overall reception about that, like how people are kind of reacting to it. Um, so let's just get into that right now. So the Mando and Grogu teaser bad. That's what it seems like. Because when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this just looks like uh, a straight to TV movie." And
Really?
a lot of people had the same reaction. It's just like it looked like a Disney Plus show. Just looks like a longer extended episode of Mandalorian,
Damn.
and that's not good. And that's just like, damn. It's like Disney really can't read the room because it's like you just went through that shit with Jimmy Kimmel and shit, and then like you want to drop this trailer. You should have probably waited a week and then dropped this trailer, or just dropped it in like October for when like people kind of forgot about the
Yeah.
whole getting rid of the show and shit. Because now it's just looking like, what are you doing here? And then it's kind of crazy. Um, And I don't know if that's going to play a part in it because like a lot of people were kind of going on this little mini boycott. I don't know how long that lasted or how effective it really was because they said they lost like $2 billion overnight or some shit like that. Or
I
just
heard it was
I don't,
4.
I don't know. When I hear billions, it's like that's
Yeah.
crazy. I can't even relate, bro. So I was just like, I don't know what that feels like. I know it doesn't hurt Disney. Like that don't really. What's a billion to them, really?
I mean, but do you believe? I just don't believe that. I don't know, man. Just because Americans don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
I mean, we'll talk about like, yes, Messi they took the man's show, but I ain't canceling my shit. And most people think that way. So
I can't so much. I pay good money for it.
yeah, like man, that's fucked up how they did it. You cancel Disney, man.
Yeah,
Hell no. My kids watch that shit, So
yeah,
I don't know. I just don't. I don't believe that they lost that much money, man. I think that that's just something to make Disney. I don't know, make them fold or whatever. I don't know who concocted that story, but I don't believe that shit, man.
yeah. I don't give a fuck about Jimmy Kimmel like that. To be quite
Nah,
frank,
not at all.
that nigga not even funny. He hasn't been funny since the Man Show. Even then, he wasn't funny.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of like Vlad. You don't watch him; you just watch it. For the guests that he brings on. You can care less about him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so you're
But
saying that the trailer, like, it was bad timing dropping that trailer right around the
I
time
think
this
I think
happened.
it was because like because now it's just like I've been seeing like a lot of people's reaction to it. Some people are excited, you know what I'm saying, to just have another, Star Wars movie coming out after like what has it been like 7 or 8 years or 7 or 8 years at the time that it comes out.
Yeah.
Um and it kind of just I know it's a teaser, but I think they could have done something better because it just looks like more of the same. And it does definitely look just like a more polished episode. It's going to be a more extended episode of the Mandalorian, and this is supposed to be the finale of the. And I think they could have probably this movie could have probably used like a subtitle, maybe call it the Mandalorian and Grogu, the Last
Mhm.
Adventure,
Right.
something. Give it
Um.
some like because and just the timing of it is just kind of weird. If they would have waited like a week for this kind of like Jimmy Kimmel shit to kind of die over,
Mhm.
and then they would have put out, I think, a little bit, people have been a little bit more enthusiastic about it, but now it just seems like the vibe is nobody gives a fuck about this movie, which I'm
Wow.
not surprised about.
So the majority reaction is that it's getting negative feedback.
From my POV, I could be wrong, but it
Yeah.
just seems like a lot of people are just don't really care or just aren't really excited. You don't really see a lot of people talking about it. Like, you remember when um The Force Awakens came out and some shit, you know how big that shit was. Like, in
Well,
Star Wars, you would think people would be talking about it a little bit more, being a little bit more excited about it since it's been so long since we had.
Well, I was gonna
Uh,
say, well, right now, Star Wars is not really hot like it used to be. Like, you got to think when Force Awakens, when that trailer dropped, we haven't seen a Star Wars movie in what 10 years, right? So there was
yeah.
excitement about it, and then the fact that Disney has it, then they show like the Black Stormtrooper. It was kind of mysterious. We thought we were
Mhm.
getting like a whole new story, so there was a lot of excitement behind that. But then fast forward, we got shit like Boba Fett, and then we got a solo Star Wars story. You got what I'm saying.
But
Star
out of
Wars has been
all,
kind of a shit show for a minute. You know what I mean?
yeah, but out of all that, they got a gem called Andor, which is crazy, and that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like, you kind of fucked up the momentum there with that because like you were just coming off of winning 5 Emmys for that show, and
right.
people regard it as not even just great Star Wars content. Some people consider it the best. You know what I'm saying? I I wouldn't argue that. Um, but also like it's just revered as a great show, a great written show,
I still
which
have to
is
watch
just
it.
for just foreign for just a Disney Plus show in general.
Right. I mean,
So like,
I thought the trailer was hot. Like like
mhm,
Mandalorian was the reason why most of us got Disney Plus to begin with. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason I got
right.
Disney Plus was because of that show. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't argue it does look like it's it looks just like the show, so it's a show but put on the big screen. But I'm not mad at that
Mm.
because I thought the show was always cinema quality. even though it was a show. You know what I mean? So I
Mm,
wasn't mad at that. So I'm excited for it. I thought the trailer was fire.
mm. Yeah, and it's just a teaser, but like as far as the quality goes, I would say something like Andor looked more cinematic than like a little bit like it looked like there was a little bit more money put behind that compared
Right.
to the later seasons of Mandalorian, and that's what it kind of looks like. It doesn't look like even the quality of like season one Mandalorian, but like by the time we get that first story kind of trailer, that first official trailer, it could the the perception could be changed, or people's minds could be kind of swayed, maybe, or anything that comes out Star Wars related, people are going to hate regardless. There's definitely going to be that crowd. Um, but I've always said like I don't think this is going to do crazy numbers, but I definitely think it's going to make it some money, especially what it's geared towards. It's geared towards the kids. It's not for us. It's for the kids is going to eat this up for sure
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
yeah.
of Grogu.
I
That
mean,
green
so
little
what's
bastard brings in money.
I mean, take my money, man. I'm a man child, so I definitely will be in the cinema day one
Mm.
to watch that. So what's the last Star Wars movie to pass a billion? It was probably what?
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker passed a billion.
Hmm.
How the fuck did that happen?
All three of them hit over a billion.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. All right, well, okay, well, I'm gonna leave that alone then. All right, okay. That wasn't the answer I was
Yeah,
expecting.
motherfuckers can't say them shits weren't successful. They still make money. Like,
Okay. I don't know. Well, being this is not, I guess, actual. I mean, it's Star Wars, but it's not Star Wars, so it'll probably do solo numbers. I mean, I don't think it's gonna do gangbusters though. Nah.
yeah, especially like because like next year is so loaded, especially
Right.
like May, that first month. Like, well, not that first month, but like that first month of the summer kind of blockbuster. She's like that shit's gonna because you also got like Mortal Kombat coming that month, and what else is dropping?
Yep.
I think yeah, Mario would still probably yeah, Mario would probably still
Mario.
be
Yeah.
in theaters. 'Cause I think that comes out late, like mid-April or something, like around April or something like that. So,
That's it. That's gonna make a shit ton of money. 'Cause I know that first Mario did like crazy numbers.
for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just got to wait and see to see the next trailer. That'll be really telling to see. 'Cause I think people shouldn't be too overly critical over like a teaser. To be honest, you could definitely get a sense of something like that, like how like the vibe of a movie or something like that. But um,
Yeah.
I think we should wait for
It looks like
that
a
first or
nice.
second trailer.
It looks like a nice old school swashbuckling Star Wars adventure that is we need right now. You know what I'm saying? I want some fun Star Wars with some heart. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's the shits I
Hmm.
grew up on. That's what I grew up on. That's what I'm expecting now. I'm like, I know I'm gonna get to Andor eventually, but Andor seems like it's one of those like serious joints. That's like
It's fire.
like yeah,
It's fire.
I'm gonna get to it, but I want to like this old school adventure, and I think that's what Mando's gonna do
Hmm.
for
I
sure.
feel that. I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what I said. All it has to do is really just do the bare minimum. They could really just do the bare minimum with it, and make 500-600, you know what I'm saying, and call it a day, and everybody goes home happy.
yeah, man. Look,
You know
and we
what
got Jabba with muscles.
I'm saying?
I said, yo, Jabba got. I guess that's the son of Jabba the Hutt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, damn, the son of Jabba got muscles, man.
I'm
What's
like, who
going
the
on?
fuck he about to fight? He about to fight Mando. He about to fight Pedro. See, people they don't got that Pedro fatigue, man. He back in the theaters, man.
Right. Well, I
Back
mean,
in the theaters.
his face is covered, so
Yeah.
when you look at Mando, you don't see Pedro, you just see Mando. You know what I
That's why
mean?
people really hate him, because it's like, man, he could just be one of like the most revered characters without having to just be actually in the fucking suit. It's just his
Right,
fucking voice. Like,
right.
easiest fucking job.
Oh, and John Favreau's direct. Okay, so yeah, I have faith in this movie. Yeah, if John Favreau's directing it and it's co-written by Favreau and Dave Filoni, oh yeah, this should be fire then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep mild expectations. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be. I feel like I have like an idea in my head, like what it's gonna be. Like it's gonna be it's probably gonna be a 3.5 star movie. Like I think it's
Right.
gonna be around that range. I
And
could be
stay,
wrong.
and you know what? And it is, as much as I would appreciate it, stay away from the nostalgia. I think that's another thing that's hurting Star Wars is that they want to constantly remind us of the good old days. And it's like,
Hmm.
listen, we're in a galaxy far, far away, right? There are so many stories and endless possibilities that you can do with that. Okay, we're done with the Skywalker saga. We're done with the Rey saga. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
Mm.
give us something fresh and new. Do not put no nostalgia in there.
Yeah, and I think that's it's a good direction that they're going in right now because like Andor was like kind of like the should be that last kind of
Mhm.
story from that original trilogy.
Right.
Clone Wars, anything like we should just retire that. And them going to Starfire with the Ryan Gosling thing, that's completely fresh. So
Mhm.
that's and there's still going to be a lot riding on that film, but I feel like that's going to be a step in the right direction for them.
Right.
It just remains to be seen. But I think they might be onto something because then if that hits off, then they can kind of get back on track with the Ray movies and stuff like that, and whatever they were doing in between and stuff like that. So, and
Well, I don't
maybe
know.
they're gonna start to listen and just like not put much TV shows out as much. If it is TV, it might be just be animated and not do so many live action.
Well, I wonder why they're not listening to the fans because, like, majority of Star Wars fans will tell you the main thing they want to see is the Old Republic. You know what I'm saying? As far as either a show or a movie. You know what I'm saying? Now, honestly, I don't know much about the Old Republic, but I keep hearing every Star Wars fan saying that's the main thing they want to see is the Old Republic.
And
And
now, see, you could that could very much be possible. Do an anime because you already have that relationship with like the studios doing Visions. You could have
right.
one of those studios or like whatever studio working on that and stuff. So
Mhm.
that could definitely be a possibility. But like nobody's in those rooms probably talking about that. I would have obviously done that because that'd have been perfect because you get a big studio to kind of work on Knights of the Old Republic. Now
Yeah, especially about Knights of
you
the
bridge
Republic.
those two worlds. You bridge like the West and the East and stuff. Some people that never would have been into anime, this might be their gateway to kind of get into that.
And don't put so much
Vice
goddamn
versa.
exposition in there either. Just leave it. Yo, Purp. Don't have a big ass lightsaber fight in. Yes, when I was a young Jediling, I was depraved and starved, but then I built my body up and it got stronger, and now I can
But
kill
then he proceeds to one shot him like it'd be crazy. But at least they give you exposition now and then. You know what I'm saying? At least they
Yeah,
explain the shit. You know.
yeah.
But that aside, one bet after another is coming out. Will this be another dub for WB? Will
I'm
this be
looking forward
another
to that.
W
Yeah,
for?
I'm going to see that Thursday. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people are raving about it. I'm seeing 10 out of 10s, movie of the year. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
DiCaprio, man. The
yeah,
DiCaprio
I think
dog.
it's I just think it's the DiCaprio effect, man.
I'm telling you, listen, if DiCaprio get raped by a bear and make a 5-star movie out of getting raped by a bear, bro, come on, man. The guy's a winner. Everything he touches turns to gold, man.
And a lot of people really like Paul Thomas Anderson and stuff like that. And looking back at like on some of his films and stuff, it's like yeah, he does have a unique style. Like
Right.
he doesn't like fall into like a formula with any of his movies and stuff like that. I think he said I've seen an article talking about like he was mad about something that nobody uh called him to do. I think it was like a Mission Impossible movie or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
He said he always wanted to do that. What's up, Jose?
What up? Pause. What do you mean? Pause for
Salute,
what?
salute.
Like pause meaning like pause, like or pause like pause.
Like mittens, like
Yeah. I'm telling you, whoever started that pause shit, I think Damon Dash needs to get punched in the mouth. I'm getting so sick of that whole pause thing. You know what I'm saying? Yo, if you ever watch Cam and Mace, they say pause for absolutely no reason. I thought the whole point of saying
pause.
pause. Yeah, I thought the whole point of saying that is if you say something that sounds gay, you gotta say, yo, yeah, pause. But they say pause for any fucking thing. Like, yeah, your murder, yo, I was cutting my toenails, right? Pause. And then I was thinking, right? Like, wait, why you gotta say pause? Because you're clipping your toenails. What are we talking about? What the fuck sounds gay about that?
Or what they was saying, I think it was I forget, somewhere in the Midwest or whatever. Like they say we don't say capping, and we like that nigga creaming and some shit. I'm like, yo, you wildin', bro. That's some false shit. That's
That's
some
real.
false.
Creepy. Hell, nah. I'm not a pause person, but I would say pause for that shit.
All right. So how much you think this is what you think this is gonna do opening weekend?
Well, who's this competition?
Well, it's Demon Slayer was still number one, so Demon Slayer probably get knocked down like to number two. Demon Slayer probably be number two this weekend.
Yeah, well, it'll definitely open up number one. I don't know. Only thing that might potentially hurt it is the runtime, because that shit has like a 2 hour and 42-minute runtime, which means,
Hey man,
yeah.
but it's like I'm looking at my side of things. Like the IMAX showings are packed and stuff like that. So it's definitely, people are definitely gonna show up. So maybe this is looking like another. That'd be crazy if they get another like 40 million opening. Like that'd be crazy.
So how many is that in a row? That'll be what, 8 in a row?
Yeah, they have grossed over had higher than 40 million and some shit like that.
WB winning, man. And I heard they about to drop Sinners for another I guess for a week or whatever, like during the Halloween time.
Yeah, the 70 millimeter.
Yeah, 70,
I wish they would just put out the whole shit like instead of 7, because I was like, yeah, that's cool. I know I'm just not gonna be able to get no tickets for that shit. So
right.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. But like this is interesting, and following that up with Warner Brothers, I was speaking on how Netflix and Paramount are in talks to purchase Warner Brothers.
But shit, with the year Warner Brothers is having, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
they just upping up their catalog, so it's just like they can offer more money. Like if they really want WB, is just like, what I'm saying, like they can in the next couple of years, depending on how these movies play out, like I think they're going to
it's
be able to.
it's awesome. It's like Fat Joe would say, yo, yesterday's price is not today's price. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot. I think one or few things could happen. Like it gets to a point where we see this overwhelming success coming from like WB, and so that just kind of makes their number go a little bit higher. Maybe that will kind of make Paramount and Netflix kind of like fall back,
right?
Be like, all right, we don't want to, you know what I'm saying, because that at least they'll hold off for another X amount of years or something like that. But who would you, if in a, let's just say they're both in the bidding for it, who would you want to get WB? Netflix or Paramount? Who do you think would be better for the overall movie going experience and stuff like that?
I think I would trust Paramount, but just because Paramount's been around forever, so I think they have more of a cinematic sense of what cinema is, as opposed to Netflix. Netflix makes movies really for Netflix, even though they do release them theatrically, but like Netflix,
they're pretty much anti. Yeah, they're pretty much anti-theater for the most part. You gotta really force them. You gotta force their hand.
Right. So yeah, I would definitely rather Paramount than Netflix.
And maybe that's like Netflix's whole, because like, have you ever seen those Netflix house things, whatever, like their own studio kind of thing, like their own kind of movie theater kind of thing? Like I've been seeing that, like and I wonder that's probably what they want to do. They say instead of like Breaking Bad, we're just gonna get into the making our own theaters and stuff like that, like buying out some of these older chains or something like that. But I would be curious to see how that would work though. If you're a subscriber or something like that, like you get a, say it's like a cheaper ticket because you're a subscriber or something like that. If you're not a subscriber, like that would be the only thing I'd be like kind of interested about. But what were you gonna say?
Now I was gonna say, well, I don't think it'll make money though because like Netflix movies are really designed to be watched on your laptop or
Hmm.
your TV. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people are gonna pay. Well, like you said, unless it's part of your membership, you can go to the. But knowing Netflix, how money hungry they are, I can see them adding an additional $10 to your already almost $30 fucking subscription just to
Hmm.
see they funky ass
Or
movies.
if like, because like I just don't see a scenario where they'd be like, all right, if you're a subscriber, or if you're like you're, well, they could be like, all right, if you're an ultimate, like you know what I'm saying, if you got the top tier, like the
Yeah,
premium, then you could just scan your shit and go in, and you just gotta
right.
pay for like you can get discount on concessions and stuff like that and different stuff in the that's the only way I could see that working, but yeah, like you said, they mainly make their money off of just being on that platform. But maybe they will kind of wise up and probably take some time. We'll have to see how they kind of change up because a lot of they look at like was it the K-pop Demon Slayer,
Right.
Demon Hunters, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, I think that
That
that's
made
the
20
biggest hit,
million.
isn't it?
Yeah, that made them like a quick 20 million. So it's just like there's a
Wow.
desire if you put your if they put their movies in theaters, like people will go see it. But I just don't feel like they want to, you know, give up any like percentage to the theaters and stuff like that and
Right, because that's
lose
taking a
out on
big
money.
risk. Because that's a big risk.
But at the same time, like Paramount comes in, the one thing somebody kind of brought up is like, does that mean James Gunn's job would be in jeopardy? I don't think so. I think they would keep him on because it's like, why would you get rid of him just to bring somebody else on to reboot the
Right,
shit again? That would be
right.
annoying. I'd be out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But and the one thing of it being on Paramount is, does it become a monopoly at that point?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I also see another situation where on both sides it gets blocked either way. I think.
I was about to say because because what like Paramount, Warner Brothers, Universal, like that was the big what the big three, whatever at one time. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So I know it wouldn't make sense. I mean, I guess it would make sense for like I said, to buy your competition. You know, like Vince McMahon bought WCW, but I don't know. Look, if WB keep going the way they going, man, Paramount ain't gonna be able to afford them. You
yeah,
know, because
yeah,
because their catalog right now is getting sick. It's crazy.
and that's why I would say like the next question I would ask is like, it can a like WB avoid being sold? And I feel like that's a kind of like a yes and no maybe. Like,
Yeah, they can't. I mean, especially if the DC if the revamped DC universe becomes successful, then yeah, like that, like nobody's gonna be able to afford them because they're gonna be making money hand over fist. You know what I'm saying?
mm, could have
So
had
yeah,
a
Matrix crossover. I think that should be too complicated because the Terminator, as the movies went on, got more crazier and confusing,
right.
and the Matrix is just confusing in itself. So I'm good.
But yeah, so but also there is a future where I see like a lot of tech companies buying these studios, like a lot of like there's a possibility that Apple could come in and buy Warner Brothers too.
I was just
That
thinking
could be the
Apple.
third studio or third party to, to put their hat in, and they could definitely afford it.
Yo,
You
and
know what I'm
don't sleep
saying?
on don't sleep on Amazon either, man. Amazon is on
Yeah,
that level.
they ate up MGM, so it's
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
gets to a point where it's like, how many big major studios are going to be left? Like it's almost pretty much like the music industry where it's like Universal owns everything, like
right, right.
as far as the music goes. And then on the movie side, it's just going to be Disney and Paramount. That's what it's going to
Hmm.
be at the end. That's crazy. That's kind of crazy. But then like you see a lot of these smaller studios, and eventually they'll probably get gobbled up too, like an A24 or you know what I'm saying. But we're starting to see a lot more of the smaller studios, indie studios, make a rise out of like these big studio changes as well too. So it's interesting.
I was gonna say, so because does that hurt? Then that's gonna hurt the quality of the the content that we get. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just have two major studios run like companies running every fucking thing, that's
Yeah.
kind of hurt the creativity that comes out of that. You know what I mean?
So like fucking Disney and Paramount will just pretty much split the fucking box office like
Right, right.
every year. And it's
Yeah.
just like no competition. That's boring. That's honestly boring. Like they should definitely like avoid that for at
Hmm.
least for the foreseeable future. Like, I feel like the way that WB has gone, I think they have really pivoted
Right,
from like since like Barbenheimer because they were kind of like with the Snyder stuff, the DC stuff was all in kind of like shambles. The whole streaming stuff, and they were getting pissing a lot of people off. They lost Nolan because of that whole situation,
right.
so they have kind of started to kind of like pivot. You know what I'm saying? Since Barbenheimer, that was kind of they. You can kind of say it's like lightning in a bottle, like or
Facts.
just kind of like luck. I don't know if it's necessary because like a lot of people do like Barbie, like genuinely like the movie and stuff like that, and it just happened and whatever. But it's gonna be interesting and kind of close things off with the future of major studios. Like I was saying, like it is looking kind of spooky in that sense of
Ooh,
where
that's what it
there's
really
a
is.
very
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's like it's gonna be Disney, Universal, Paramount, like just the
That's
big
it.
three, right?
That's it. No, no,
They're
no
gonna be
fucking, no fucking variety, man.
yeah, and I think Warner Brothers is just kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? And they can't go through another fucking name change for fucking HBO Max. If they go for another name change, it's probably gonna kill that fucking app for good.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because to
It
go
went,
from
it
what
went from HBO Max to Max, and now what is it now?
well originally it was like HBO Go, HBO something something, and then HBO Max, then
Okay.
Max,
Yeah.
then it's HBO Max again. It's only so many times you can switch your shit up. Like it's not gonna be like what would they'd probably call it like Paramax or some shit like that. Just combine the two and
But you know what?
but that's but
The silver lining in that may be though, like if you do kind of just consolidate the studios to like a couple of major
less
companies, or
streaming services.
the streaming service, yeah, you know where I'm going with that. Because right now
Mm.
you got Hulu, Disney, Paramount. You got so many that you pay for, and right now what Disney's doing away with Hulu, so Hulu's gonna be no longer a thing. So if you can just narrow it down to two streaming services,
That's a good point.
you know what I
And that
mean?
might be that might end up having to be just the casualty right there, just like having
Right.
to, you know what I'm saying? But then we have less, you know what I'm saying, one less thing to pay for.
Exactly. So for the streamers, it'll work out perfectly for them. But then to the moviegoer, the one that goes to the cinema, I mean, because I think they're still projecting that soon cinemas is going to be a thing of the past. You know what I mean? Which I hope never
Hmm.
happens.
Now,
But
now let's talk about a scenario where what if Netflix does get Warner Brothers? How big of a shift will that would that be?
that'll be a very big shift because Netflix has a certain lane, and their lane
Mm.
is designed for streaming. You know what I mean? So, man, I think, I mean, it'll be a big deal, but I can just see the quality of the movies diminish. You know what I mean? That's just what I think.
HBO Paramount.
HBO Paramount, yeah, because dogs, if you notice, Netflix movies are very fucking long. Like they are too fucking long, and like that's one thing that studios understand is that you have to have a runtime where you can have as many screenings as possible. That's why,
Yeah.
especially back in the day, they always held it like 2 hours and under. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was something that was over that, it had to be like an exception, but most movies fall
Mm.
between the 130 to 140 mark. Man, Netflix puts out a fucking Eddie Murphy comedy. It should be like fucking 3 hours long. Like, why is this movie so fucking long? It's a comedy, dog. What are you doing?
Yeah, like long movies are still like niche and like it's definitely for a certain crowd. Like it definitely
Right.
it has to be something really special. It's a different audience. And and it's like it's a shame too because this audience like attention span is like so shot. Like
Right.
they couldn't enjoy something like The Godfather. Like a Godfather couldn't work today
Nah. Nah.
in this just the way that movie is paced and stuff like that and
Mm-hmm.
for its time.
Right.
And I think like that's what's kind of dope also about films. Like some of those 3 hour movies be just really dope because they really get to explore a lot of these different characters and just makes you feel immersed. I feel like that's what it needs to be. If you're gonna make a long movie, you just gotta like make people feel immersed, like an Avatar.
Yeah,
Um,
like Way
it,
of
it,
Water,
it-
man. I didn't feel that
yeah,
runtime at all. Yeah.
yeah, and even if Avatar is not your thing, like a lot of people don't really feel like the story isn't all that impressive, but like you get what I mean, where it's like that still will capture your attention. Even with
Right.
Oppenheimer, that was just all dialogue, but like I feel like it was just um the right moment for Christopher Nolan. I feel like that was like one of his sharper movies where he keeps you engaged with just dialogue and stuff like that. And
It didn't keep
it's
me
really
engaged. That's
interesting.
the per. I still haven't finished that movie yet.
Oh man, that movie gets crazy, man. Like I was kind of worried about it as well too, because it's like it's like it would call it somewhat of a biopic and stuff like that. And but just
Yeah.
like I was just really in tune with just the dialogue and stuff. Like that's what was keeping me like invested and stuff. I wasn't really caring about like the other stuff because then like once you get to like the third act, it was like a damn near turned into like a horror movie and shit. I was like, what the fuck? The tone completely shifts.
Man,
And it's
let me tell you
crazy.
something.
And fucking
All
and that really shows you that like Robert Downey Jr. That's the role that I was like, yo, he needs to play more villains. That guy he's playing Doctor Doom because I was like, bro,
right.
this nigga, yo, it was crazy. But
Well,
it's not gonna be for everybody.
I still gotta finish it, man. Like to me, like if I watch a 3 hour movie, bro, like honestly, Godfather, I could watch that movie from beginning to end like 3 times in a row. Like I love the Godfather. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Scarface, Casino, movies like that. Like even Wolf of Wall Street. Basically anything directed by Scorsese or Coppola. I could watch for 3 hours, but that Oppenheimer, the only thing I remember about that movie is Florence Pugh's naked body. That's it. That's all I remember. It's her nips. You know what I'm saying?
And I think if you do make a 3 hour movie, at least like there should be an intermission. Because I think that's what
Yeah,
really worked for me with
yeah.
I actually kind of the one thing I liked about the Brutalist because the movie this I think I liked the first half a little bit more than the second. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was a really interesting movie, like aesthetically and just cinematically, and its
Right.
cinematography and all that. But that's definitely a movie. Like after that, fucking, I like the fact that they had like a 15 minute
Intermission. Yeah.
intermission joint. But then like right after that intermission, I feel like I just got started kind of it started to kind of lose me. So, but it was really cool to see it in there. And I
Right.
think more movies should have that if you're going to make super long movies.
Yeah, I remember.
And
I
I'm not
think I
against it.
remember.
I feel like
Hmm?
no, I'm saying go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no. I was gonna say last movie I think I saw with the intermission was I think it was Two Towers because I actually went to see the Two Towers and I believe there was an intermission halfway through, like for like 10-15 minutes or something like that, and then it
I
got
wish
back
I
in.
saw them. I wish I saw them just in theaters because I saw them just like I was just like man, because I was at that age. I was young. I was a teenager. Like people
Yeah.
where people looked at Lord Rings as like nerdy or something like that. Like that wasn't cool. But I was like, this movie is fucking fantastic. These movies are fantastic.
Oh yeah, all three of them. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still. Yeah, Two
I
Towers is
watch
the
all
only.
it. My first interaction with it was the extended cut. So I was watching the longer John.
Oh wow, I never
Yeah.
seen those. Yeah, because Two Towers. Yeah, I saw Two Towers was the only one I saw in the cinema, and then I did see the last one at home, but that movie never fucking ended. I was getting frustrated, man, because I was digging it, and then it's like, okay, this movie ain't off yet, and then 20 minutes later, I said this movie's still fucking going. God damn.
Yeah. I like the Batman. The Batman was dope. I didn't feel that at 3 hours.
Yeah, I didn't feel that one either. Nope.
I
I
love
mean,
that theater experience, especially when like just revving up the fucking Batmobile and shit like that.
right.
Fuck,
But
man, that was
that's what I'm
awesome.
saying. Only certain directors can do that. Like I said,
Mm,
Scorsese, he's one of those. Because when I saw Killers of the Flower Moon, I thought that was going to be a snooze fest, and I honestly, I was engaged
that's
the whole
locked in.
time. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
locked in.
it was some
Yeah, I
mob
mean,
shit. That's pretty much all it was.
you know what? And I guess that's my appeal, man. Because I'm a
Yeah.
sucker. I'm a sucker for gangster shit, man. Especially if Scorsese made it. You know what I mean? So
Speaking of which, they have I think it's coming out this month or this week or something like that. I don't know if you've ever watched on Netflix the Peaky Blinders.
I heard about it. I never watched it
Peaky
though.
Blinders. You got your old boy in there. From Oppenheimer. What was his name? Killian Murphy or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, Cillian Murphy. Yeah.
But like the creators of that are making another like kind of mob show or whatever. It's like around the Guinness family or like beer and stuff like. Guess it has something to do with like alcohol and some shit like that.
Mm.
Almost like kind of
Yo,
reminds me of Boardwalking a little bit.
Yo, your boy just said I went to a midnight screening of Return of the King. You went to a midnight screening? Wow, so
Damn.
you ain't get home till like 5 in the morning.
Especially if you watch the extended cuts, like them shits is like
Yeah.
fucking 4 hours and shit. Like them shits was
Oh
great though.
man.
I was like, this is like little mini. It's like watching a little mini series.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah, I can't. Even if I did try, man, I couldn't do a midnight screening anymore, and especially at my
But
age because I will fall asleep, guaranteed. I
but
will
you know
fall
what's
asleep.
crazy though? It's like we binge watch shit that's like longer than that. Sometimes it'll be like 3 4 hours,
That's true.
and it's just in like and it's just in one. I guess it's because it's how it's structured and stuff like that. But I
Right.
always find that to be interesting because like when you brought up like Demon Slayer, how it was like you felt like it was long and stuff. To me, it just felt like a it felt like
Mm-hmm.
part of a season. Like we got a couple of episodes, like at least like 4 episodes into one kind of situation, or 3 or 4 episodes into one. Because like our normal anime episodes, like 20 minutes, we take all right way of the credits and stuff like that. So
Well, that's a good point. 'Cause I know when Cobra Kai drops, if you add up all 10 episodes, it adds up to like what, damn near a 4 hour movie.
yeah,
And I'll binge the whole season like in one sitting.
it's crazy how the
So
brain
yeah,
works. It's really
that's
crazy.
a good point you make. I guess yeah, it's definitely psychological. You know what I'm saying? Because even this new DiCaprio movie coming out, it's like 2 hours and 42 minutes. God damn, that's long.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I
look,
always
like I
like
said, I can sit
I
through
always
Godfather.
yeah, I was just gonna say like I always try to challenge myself. I was like, man, like let me see. Like I always want to try something different. Something that's completely out of my wheelhouse. Like I want to go back to some of these older
Mhm.
classic movies eventually. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every movie and just getting into films is all about timing.
Right.
You should never just like rush into something just because it just if it feels right, that's the time to kind of watch that specific movie. Some people haven't ever watched Friday in their whole entire life, and then they wait till they're like in
Mhm.
their 40s or 50s to finally watch it. Something like that. It's
Yeah,
different.
facts. Well, I even like what they're doing now, where they're screening all these, old school joints. So I already got my ticket for Elm Street, and I got my ticket
Hmm.
also for Last Dragon. Two movies that I missed at the cinema.
Oh yeah, that's what I was looking at. That's what I was looking for because I was like, because you were talking about you were talking about a movie, and I was like, was he talking about Devil's Rejects? I saw a poster, and I was like, nah, that wasn't even what he was talking about. I just forgot what
Mhm.
exactly what he was talking about. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to. 'Cause I think they had a re-release of that like not too long ago.
Which one?
Could have the Last Dragon.
For Last Dragon? Yeah.
I
Oh,
could have swore, or it probably was a different. It was probably a different Bruce Lee jump, but
yeah, probably was yeah. No, yeah, Last Dragon. Yeah, because I did. This is the 40th anniversary, which is
it might have
crazy to
been.
me.
It might have been Entered the Dragon, some shit like that, or
I think it was Into the Dragon. Yeah, it was Into the Dragon. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because Last Dragon. Yeah, this is the 40th anniversary, and it's crazy, bro. Because I remember watching the trailer for that, and then they dropped the DeBarge video, "Rhythm of the Night" on VH1, and that's back when movies they would have the soundtrack to the movie, and they would shoot a video
Mm.
for it, and they would show clips of the movie in the video to sell the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's like a lost art form. But yeah, I remember watching Rhythm of the Night and clips of The Last Dragon. I'm like, I want to go see Last Dragon, and my pops for some reason never took me to see that, and I was so
that's crazy.
mad. Yeah.
Now, this comment, Hosea, this is what I don't want to happen with Dex going back to the whole like who if Netflix were to get WB, that just kind of boosts up the Snyder fandom for that shit. We don't need that. Just let that shit go.
Let it die. Just let it die. It's done. It's dead. All right.
Kill
Listen,
it if you have to.
got,
Whatever.
we got that 4-hour Snyder cut of the Justice League. Okay, I think that was like the love letter. That was the breakup sex. That was the you know what I'm saying?
The crescendo.
The crescendo. That was the closure that the Snyder fans needed. Let it go. Let it go.
The closing of the you know, we never mind, I won't disrespect it like that, but moving on from that, yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. There's a lot of good movies out right now. There's some movies that I missed out on in theaters. I want to still see Twinless. I heard good things about that movie. Probably gonna wait till digital. There's this movie called Baltimoreans that I recently watched. It's like a holiday joint. That was really good. I was surprised that they put it out in September though, like instead of like I feel like that would have done better in November. I don't know if you saw in the trailer for The Bride that was it Christian Bale and Maggie. I think it's Maggie Gyllenhaal. They're doing like a Frankenstein joint. It's like another Frankenstein movie.
So that's a remake to the cause they did a movie in '85 called The Bride, which was a Frankenstein retelling. Because your boy Sting, he played Dr. Frankenstein in that movie. And what's the name? Jennifer Beals, I think that's her name. Flashdance chick. Yeah, you ever see the '85 Bride? 85 version of that movie?
I think I remember it vaguely.
Yeah. It wasn't that good. So I'm not gonna sit there and be like, no, they don't need to remake that, man. I wouldn't even call it a classic. I remember watching it and being very forgettable, and I just remember Sting playing Dr. Frankenstein, and that's about it. I don't remember the movie being that good, so yeah, it doesn't have big shoes to fill.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this was a pretty cool episode, but as you can hear in the background, probably like, yo, it's fucking pouring like a motherfucker outside. I don't know where the fuck this shit came from. I was like, I didn't. But anyways, Rashad, you got anything you want to plug or you got coming up the next couple of days?
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be reviewing that that DiCaprio movie coming out this week, so I'll be seeing that Thursday, and so I should drop.
Oh yeah, we got that and the Strangers Chapter 2. I forgot. I got a double feature. I'm doing that as well. Go ahead.
That comes out this week too.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll probably check that out. I'll probably end up watching that Saturday. Probably.
I hear it's dog shit. I'm ready for it.
Really? Oh Lord, I don't know if I want to go there. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that shit then.
Nah, I just want to see like because it's just like everybody be like, because people are really like shitting on him. Like there's like it's the worst movie of the year. I'm like, nah, nigga, it's not that. It's not that bad.
Nah, it's not that bad at all. Nah. But yeah, I got that, and yeah, that's all I can think of right now, and then prepping for for Halloween time, spooky season. You know what I mean? So that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, and we will be back Saturday, 10 p.m. for the Horror Never Dies podcast. Let me know how you guys feel about what was talked about tonight in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out.
Peace.